Racy headlights on now for the AU.
There you go.
There we go. I'm coming, boys. They're side by side down into one. Position swaps. The 99 locks up the left rear.
Oh, I'm loving this action.
I'm going to say they all come out. They do. But have a look at this. Not giving up. Pridmore to the inside in the 66.
That's phenomenal racing.
Lap work. Here comes Stoopman, and there's some chaos car number six. That's Leach. Down into the field. This is the Jackson Shembry battle.
Nice.
And Gaunt goes through. In fact, there's no... And, that's a big one for Shembry in the Bay Ford entry. Gets a bit of mayhem now down at the coming together, the 51 and the 99. Preston Pino, Line TV.
What another side by side.
Kevin Stoopman's going to go back 2 spots. I wonder if there's going to be a thumbs up there. Stoopy off.
Buddy.
Mark the tape, boys. We don't see that T3. But watch this battle of Commodores as they come through with Stoopy in there as well. Pridmore, Prestapino, we've got them across the grass. This is fairly traditional stuff in saloon car. So, you're a commentator at a race between Lowndes and Johnson. The 52
More
giving
than a
Nash
kiss.
Harris a big touch up behind the wheel there.
Front right.
And that's some big damage on that just behind the right front wheel there. Welcome back trackside here at the Victorian State Circuit Racing Championships. Beautiful day here at Winton. You really should all be trackside here. Some great racing coming up. One of the fiercest fought out categories in the championships is the saloon cars. They'll be on track next. But first of all, let's go down to an interview that Annalise got earlier with Victorian Motorsport's very own Kevin Stoopman.
I'm in the pits with Kevin Stoopman, and we're going to ask about his 2 laps at Winton this morning.
It was very short and sweet. The Falcon threw a fan belt off this morning, so lucky I've got a bunch of good-looking roosters over here which have managed to fix it and get me back out this afternoon.
That's great. It's important to have a good team in your pit. How do they help you in the car?
I don't know if they help me much in the car. They give me a fair bit of crap when I don't do very well. They're always pretty quick to put me down and harass me, but it is hard to fix a car without them. So, I have to put up with the grief that they give me to be able to have their help to keep me going, because I do tend to break the car a fair bit.
It's a bit of a love-hate relationship.
It is, yes, for sure.
And you've raced at Winton many times. What are your tips for people who haven't raced at Winton or it's their first time?
Probably a little bit tricky if it's your first time. Don't overdrive the track, I think. Winton's one of those tracks where you can very easily overdrive it and spend a lot of the time sideways rather than forward. So, probably just keep the cool and enjoy the layout. It is a good layout and it's a whole lot of fun, so good fun.
So you like the idea that it's going clockwise rather than anti-clockwise?
I've never tried Winton anti-clockwise. I think that would probably be a bit of a challenge coming down the hill through 1 and 2, but it works well, definitely. And
these are your 2 cars. Which one is your favourite?
The one that's still going at the end of the day is definitely my favourite car at the moment, because race cars tend to break a lot. So if we can drive them on the trailer at the end of the weekend, that's definitely my favourite for the weekend.
And I wish you luck for your qualifying and Restall race weekend.
Thank you very much. No probs. Bye.
Traditional Aussie fare. Ford versus Holden, front row of the grid. 2 Fords and 2 Holdens, and away we go. Watch with the door-handle type of racing here in saloon cars as they line astern with each other down into turn 1. It's going to be Baxter Smith, just angles it in there. Daniel Johnson also gets in nicely into P3. But watch this battle of Commodores as they come through with Stoopy in there as well. Pridmore, Prestapino, we've got them across the grass. This is fairly traditional stuff in saloon cars, as we see the 52 of Gray just getting back on there as well. Chris is taking evasive action, but that's certainly pushed a number of them back down through the field off turn 1 there. Just trying to pick up if there's any of the stars of saloon cars that came off there, but they all seem to be still in touch out in front.
Bit of a dust storm there on the S's at the start.
Yeah, it's going to be
Lovely
like
to
that,
see.
isn't it? This time of the year at Winton, we've got another one off at the sweeper there as well. So lots of dust going up over there as well. So that's trouble as we come around through what my dad calls the cleavage here at Winton between the S's. And here it is at turn 1. Let's see if we can pick up where the mayhem started. We're sort of
Just out of
missing it.
shot.
There it is.
Ooh.
Okay, we've got someone parked across the track and everyone taking evasive action. Jumping across the infield tracks there as well. Can't quite pick up who they all are, but certainly plenty of action. Caneback Baxter Smith leading now. Adam Lowndes, they've got themselves a tidy little gap there. The fact that on lap 1 they're in the shot without anyone else into it. It's Daniel Johnson next, and that's back to Pridmore. It's Kevin Stoopman. Was he in that group right there? There's not there actually. Looking for where he's gone. He's down now in about 7th place, I think, in the back of that shot. There's the 56, our race leader. And all the way back down through the field there, back to Travis Lindorff. He started well. Then it's Prestapino in the guys, glass and glazing, number 99. Prestapino throwing, Lindorff throwing the dirt at the 99 there and doing it again coming out of turn 4 as the field get up into the sweeper. Difficult hang on in a Falcon or a Commodore. Big lurching saloons. Oh, look at this, using the ripple strip. 66, Pridmore, forever the man providing action. Take the risk, calculated risk. And Travis Lindorff sits right in behind. If that risk unfolds in a bad way for the 66 Kevin Pridmore, then Travis Lindorff will be all over him.
Wouldn't be a Ford and Holden grudge match without a bit of nose to tail, would it, Darren?
That's exactly right. I got to say, the saloon cars over the years, they've had periods where the Robbins Racing got a little bit more than rubbin and got some damage and people off and into barriers. But I'm going to say this current era of saloon car racing is operating exceptionally skillfully. Look, if they come together, they do. That's that is racing. That is part of it. Just getting a look at this bit here. This is in the middle of the pack there, and these guys, and that is down to Justin Letsky, Jetski, Leach, and Wilkin. We're talking 7, 8, 9 on the road there. Love this Coca-Cola livery like the Wayne Gardner type of thing. You're sending a pretty clear message.
I'm having flashbacks here, Darren.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing I saw when I saw that, I went, oh, yes, we're in for a bit of Captain Chaos action, as Gardner was known for back in the day.
I lost count the amount of cars that were coloured like that in Adelaide.
Have a look at this, side by side down into 3. This is like the World Championship. The 91 just takes a wide run there. That's Jeski. And lets Leach through, only for a corner or 2 there. But it's a couple of AUs. As I said, 7, 8 and 9. Wilkin has just been left off the back here. In fact, it appears as though the bottle's out of the cork's out of the bottle now and they're running away with it.
Here we go.
It's getting a bit willing now. This is the number 12 coming through of Kevy Stoopman. True Stoopman style. There's not a gap, let's force one, and always great action. Wherever that Tyre Power sponsored number 12 is, and it doesn't matter if it's saloon cars, HQs, improved production or sports sedans, wherever Kev is, a ripping driver over a very long career, and one of those great guys around the pit and paddock area to grab a chat with. He'll tell you how it is sometimes, and make up a story that makes him look good and the car look bad.
Well, so far so good. The racing's good and incident-free, unlike the previous race.
Well, we're only 2 laps in and we've got 14 and a half minutes left to go, so anything could happen. The GCA car number 12 for Tyre Power there, now right up into the back of Jeski. Now, this will be good, actually. This will be really good for Jeski to have Stoopy behind him. Stoopy won't hold back. He will apply pressure where it's due and looks to go the inside here, so he's positioned his car beautifully for turn 1 to take that spot back. But Kev started, don't forget Kev started right up in P3, languishing down there in P9 at the moment, so he will be trying to fight back. A guy that's always on for a podium, and more often than not the top step on the podium at the moment. But came back to Smith, Lowndes and Johnson with Pridmore just hanging off the back of that group at the moment as well. Here's that car we were talking about, the Coke liveried car.
Yeah.
I really do want to give it a bit of Captain Chaos, but at the moment, just doing a bit of lap work. Here comes Stoopman, and there's some Chaos car number 6. That's Leach in the Kyneton Crane repair outfit. And the guy from that great country town, Kyneton Crane hire, off the back of
Can you get it going?
the turn, what's that, 6 up there, and regaining,
he's
lost
back.
a whole lot of spots.
Well, at least you stayed out of everyone's way. That's all you can do.
Absolutely, and
racing.
not getting in anyone's way, trying to get back in as well. Field streaming around, coming around through 6, 7, 8. There's the Coke car as well, and looking the goods. There's Jackson in the 97, and that's down in 18th at the moment. At the moment, Sean Jamieson hadn't started the race, was certainly on the grid sheet, was quite a long way down. So I would suggest some concerns there for Jamo, reigning champion from 2022. Of course, Daniel Johnson, the reigning champion from 2023, and Daniel's currently sitting in 3rd place, coming under massive pressure. There's Gaunt, now in the number 94. That's Keegan Gaunt in the old VN, and we go back to 3rd place on the road here. Big challenges here. The 2Ps having a really big look at it. There's Pridmore, and behind him, Prestapino. And then we go back to Travis Lindorff round the outside.
Side by side. Oh, that's uncomfortable. There is nothing in positions 1 through to 6.
66 now, got the inside running. It's all about that power down. We discussed it in the Formula Vs. That's the secret to Winton. Power down. The straight 6 versus the B6. Under brakes.
Jeez.
It'll be... Well, there's nothing in it. Daniel Johnson's just got the nose in front. But Pridmore is going to get it because he's got the inside running for the second last corner.
Their wheat bix. Oh, this is uncomfortable for me. I've driven this track, Darren. That is not comfy.
That's saloon cars. They love it. This is how they do it. Daniel Johnson, short back and side, loses 2 spots on that one straight under brakes there. The 2Ps go through. Pridmore and Prestapino will be now inside the top 5. In fact, Pridmore, the last step on the podium. Now Johnson is now defending Travis Lindorff, and Kevin Stoopman, I just noticed, is right in the back of that shot there as well. So he's back up into 7th place. There's our reigning champion, car number 1. A guy that puts in a lot of effort into the Saloon Car Series, and super proud. In fact, it was a very popular championship win last year by Daniel. Everyone, I guess, except for the guys that came 2nd and 3rd, were happy to see it.
I just can't get over. I'm looking at the timing and seeing Lowndes, Johnson. I'm seeing these names from Bathurst, the legends.
Don't be misled.
No, but it's great racing though, Darren. I'm actually liking the saloon car.
It's fantastic racing. This is, I guess this is now our only true... Now, this was our
Holden
fair
Ford.
for 50 years. This is the true Holden versus Ford battle.
Well, I'm an Adelaide girl. This was what I was used to. So when we moved to Melbourne, I was glad to see it was still going.
So round we go. There's the 34, Andy McSwain. And, that's a big one for Shembry in the Bay Ford entry.
Justin Shembry.
And he's now gone back down to the back of the field there. So that's a shame. Shembry pushing on pretty hard. This is where it's at. Have a look at this. Lindorff left and right. The Holden is definitely working a lot nicer. Under brakes. That's a big dive. Daniel Johnson's been caught out there now. Lost 3 places in that exact spot.
I'm impressed with this driving. I really like it.
So back at the front now. This is Kane Baxter Smith, the Swift Solar entry, right behind the Pro Plum car of Adam Lowndes. And this is a super battle at the front. In fact, the battles right throughout this top 10 are very, very healthy for this early on in the season. We're only in round 2, and the saloon cars were very, very good at Sandown. Sean Jamieson led the weekend to Daniel Johnson, so 100 to 84 points. Kieran Pridmore on 84. Kieran's doing a fantastic job ranging up into 3rd place now with Lowndes, Baxter Smith, Travis Lindorff, and right back down through the field. Kevy Stoopman only dragged 10 points out. Justin Shembry got 28 points. He's right back down the bottom of the field now. So there's Pridmore, and as I said, the two P's, Pridmore and Prestipino. I think I said it when they were sitting on the grid, Emma, that watch them. They'll come at it pretty hard.
Yeah, it's getting a bit fisty. Like I think Pridmore's doing well to hold off Prestipino. He's doing really well, actually. There's nothing in it. It's 3 tenths.
Looking back down through the field there's the 94 of Gaunt again, and ranging up behind is the 97 of Chris Jackson in that grey Commodore. Looks good. Got some splashes of Dayglow orange and yellow on there. Not sure how you really dress up a Falcon or a Commodore, but they seem to have done it well over all the years, haven't they?
It's the badge that people look for, Darren.
It is the badge. It's badge racing. It certainly is. And these guys do get pretty frisky with it. One of the interesting things is that Sean Jamieson, he doesn't mind. He's got various of both Ford and Holden in his selection. And he'll pick the track where he thinks the Ford or the Holden is going to be the strength and bring that one.
Well,
and of course the South Australian as well.
Oh, yeah, well, he'd have to go Holden. But I mean, this is a really technical track. So what do you think your pick would be? Would you rather be in a Ford or a Holden around here?
The Fords have done very well here over the years, but I think it's around about 60-40 success to Ford versus Holden, and we're just seeing here now.
A little bit of a step out.
Absolutely. Lowndes and Pridmore.
That was Gaunt with a little bit of a step
Commodore
out there.
So yeah, there's a Ford, then four Holdens. Back to Daniel Johnson. And Daniel, sadly, in Carnival 1 has gone back. He was on the second row of the grid, and now he's on row 3, row 4 sort of thing. So dropping back down to 6th place here. Great shots. This is a magnificent looking livery. The connected car number 45 of Kerry Blight. And they've put a lot of thought into making that car look good. And the 91 gone just the traditional red with the white bonnet and white roof, reflect the heat up in central Victoria on a hot weekend.
Well, we do have 26 degrees here at the moment, and the UV's hit 8. So the rubber's wearing down a little bit on the track, doesn't like it.
Yeah, certainly.
So a bit more slippery and slidey.
This is a full treaded Bridgestone tyre, so yeah, they will start to be feeling the punishment. Probably more by tomorrow, because it's going to be warmer earlier tomorrow. But these guys, I think they'll be pretty glad to get their racing done. What are we? 1:15 in the afternoon. By 3 o'clock this afternoon, when we've got the Big Bang of Sports events, they'll be feeling that UV intensifier, certainly under the tyre.
Not to mention the drivers. They sit, for those who don't know, they sit on a dummy grid for a good maybe 5 to 10 minutes before they're out on track. So they're under the sun, in their suits with the helmets on. Gets pretty sweaty in there.
It's always about that time you need the nervous trip to the toilet too. So get out and run all the way over to the toilet block.
Exactly.
So good racing here. We've still got 5.5 minutes left to go. Let's have a look how it's transpiring. Kane Baxter Smith has got a 0.4 of a second lead over Adam Lowndes. And Adam's got a 0.4 second lead over Pridmore, and this is the battle. Pridmore, Prestipino and Travis Lindorff. Lindorff now fastest car on track. That's the Casey Accident Repair Commodore in the back. A shot. Look at those gloves. The 99, love those yellow gloves when they go up and around. You can see everything, all the inputs the driver's doing.
You know what? I don't know whether I'd rather be in front or behind. Having someone in your mirror for this long in a race, you're going to make a mistake. I mean, it takes a great driver to not make a mistake, to have that constant pressure.
Why Trav's got the headlights on and looks left and right in the mirrors. It's all those
I'm waiting for him to start flashing, GT3 style.
Got the Le Mans flashes on. But never were they an option on a Holden Commodore. But have a look at this. Travis Lindorff wants to be right at the back on the top of Victorian Saloon Car Racing, currently sitting there in P5. Does a tremendous job. The car is always presented brilliantly, and likewise Casey Accident Repair down the side, representing the business and himself very well. So this is the gaps we're getting. Pridmore, Prestipino and Lindorff. The 66, I thought, might have got away.
Yeah.
Pridmore when he got in front of this group. Oh no, this is not what we wanted.
Daniel Johnson. What happened there?
This is not good. There's no smoke coming out. Has it got a left front flat, maybe? Left front cops an absolute pounding here. It's like right fronted Sandown. And Johnson into the pits. This is not what Daniel wanted. And as I alluded to earlier, I don't think anyone wants to see Daniel do poorly in his racing. He puts so much effort into it, along with all the committee that run this category. So we cast our eyes back. This is the lead of the race. Kane Baxter-Smith to Adam Lowndes. Now starting to move on to the back of some lap traffic. It's at the 33 in front of him of Darren Kritzis. No, it's the 10 of Justin Shembry, of course. Yeah, Justin had that spin earlier and went off the back of the
Black
Ripple Strip,
Falcon.
coming onto the main straight.
Oh.
No, now the 51
You're
of Travis Lindorff
kidding.
has been off. Out of P5. I'm not sure that he's lost any spots because there was a healthy gap between Travis and Kevy Stoopman. But we'll have to try and pick that up as they cross the line the next time round. Bit of understeer that time round for Adam Lowndes, so he's just starting to feel that, as Emma alluded to, with her extensive technical knowledge of tyres and UV. The Bridgestones will be starting to feel the pressure.
I'm part nerd, Darren. Just part nerd.
Oh, it's all about the interest of the sport, isn't it? Everyone has their thing. There's the 99 now. That's Jacob Prestopino. Here we go. Is this... Oh, that's what happened to Travis Lindorff. A sideways slide at the bottom of the old back straight there. Points it straight in, kind of speedway style, I guess, and took off. Didn't look like he lost any spots there, but Kevy Stoopman will now have noticed that. No, he's 9 seconds away, so...
As off go, that's as easy as it gets at Winton.
Yes.
There's
exactly.
no good place to have an off here except for there.
Absolutely agree with you. They've certainly over the years improved the safety, and we saw that incident in Formula V's earlier. But there's a reason why the sign at the gate says the nation.
Yeah. Well, look, it is a technical track, and you're carrying a lot of speed into these corners. So that's what, in that itself, you don't want to come off. But yeah, they have improved the track a hell of a lot since I started coming here.
Leach and Gray now going at it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 12th and 13th on the road. Here comes the 34 of Andy McSwain. He's starting to push his way back up through the field after starting right down near the back of the field. Where was the 34? Yeah, started out at 17th. So he's now back to 11th. So that's a good charge. But the number 6 there of Leach is not taking it lying down, that's for sure. And then in behind, it's the EA Falcon battling it out there as well. So lots of battles right back down through the field. That's Dylan Gray in the EA there, number 52. And they're fighting it out for 10, 11, 12, 13 on the track. As we go back up the field a bit, here's to Wilkin and the 45 of Bright.
Just on 30 seconds left in this race, Darren. And I wonder if Adam Lowndes can make it up.
Good battle
maybe
here.
Not.
This is just out of 7th and 8th on the road, and they're getting pretty willing with it.
David
Two terrific
Wilkin.
liveries, a tribute livery and definitely an original one, the connected livery there. As we head down into turn 3, the older VN Commodore being driven absolutely, as they would have said in the old days, with gay abandon, but certainly doing a
driving the wheels
tremendous
off
job.
it.
Driving
Yeah.
the wheels off it is what we say in the modern parlance.
Yeah. I remember a few of them at the drags at Calder when I was 18, Darren. Was the thing to do.
Big slide. The Coke car now really coming under fire. And that's the Wilkin car.
Sliding everywhere.
Dave doing a good job. Checkered flag as we have race winners of Kane Baxter-Smith in the Falcon over Adam Lowndes in the number 19 Commodore. The 66 of Pridmore gets to the line there as well in position 3. So that's your podium. Prestopino, Travis Lindorff gathered it all back up after what could have been a horrible sideways slide down into turn 10. And Kevy Stoopman gets back, came out of P3, went to near the back of the field and has fought back to position number 6 in car number 12. So good drive there by Kev. Never, ever underestimate the driver of car 12. And there you go. If you wonder if sheep stations are on offer, they certainly are right now for these two. As David Wilkin in the number 2 gets to the line.
Well, someone's lost a bit of hardware there, Darren. Have a look at that.
Yeah, that's
Might need
going to
that.
head off to Walker and get yourself a new muffler for your Holden or your Ford, as we're just seeing a little bit of a replay. Oh, it's the black.
Oh, he's
Didn't
dropped
quite
off
get
his
that. It's
he's dropped
fallen
off his
there at the
muffler.
end.
Okay.
That would have sounded loud coming past us. I'm sure we obviously missed that.
I think I was distracted by a power slide coming out
Kerry.
of turn 12.
Kerry Bright in the number 45 getting home in 8th position there. Jeske, Leach, Harris, Andy McSwain ultimately home in 12th. So that's a good run from further down the back of the field. Gray, Shembry's in, had been lapped, as was Kritz's. Sadly, Daniel Johnson has made his way back into the paddock, which is a real shame. But yeah, there's that bit of exhaust system.
You know, Darren, I hate to say it, but that's also reminiscent of Adelaide.
Yep.
Sorry, shouldn't say that. Sorry for anyone from Adelaide watching, but I'm from there as well. Elizabeth Way, you'd see mufflers out on.
Here's
on the
our
road.
final standings on the screen there. 56, Kane Baxter Smith basically led from flag to finish. Adam Lowndes coming into P2, that helps his hunt. Karen Pridmore drove a terrific race, as did Jacob Prestopino. They did a good race, and you turn their numbers upside down, 166 or 99, depending on which way you look at it. Travis Lindhoff home in 5th place. He'd be ruining the fact that he had that big slide when he was in a challenging position.
I'm here with Kieran Pridmore, and I'm going to talk to him about his morning on the track. Tell me about your morning.
So far, we missed the first practice session because we were running a bit late this morning. We were fixing Kevin Stootman's cars all night, so bit of a long trip up here last night. But we got here about 1 o'clock this morning. So we missed the first practice session, and then the second practice session we had a few little dramas with the car. So hopefully we got them sorted now, and we're just about to go out for practice 3. So hopefully we resolve those problems, and we'll see how we go.
So what are you taking in from the previous practice into practice 3?
Just trying to get the car set up, basically. Just trying to get it within a window where it's pretty good, where we're happy with it. Hopefully tomorrow, if we put some new tyres on in qualifying, we have a good run. We'll see how we go.
So compared to Kevin, do you think he is like a good person to be around in the pits, as he's quite different in mindset?
Kev's got a lot of experience and shares a lot of knowledge, so it is quite good being close to him, and he's been very helpful for me with my racing. So yeah, I'm very appreciative of that. So yeah, he shares a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, so it's very handy to have him close. Yeah.
Do you have any other racing mentors or legends you look up to?
Well, obviously, V8 supercar drivers like Van Gisbergen and McLaughlin and all them, they're pretty talented sort of guys. But as far as what we do here and this sort of stuff, yes, Kev's probably the main one to gauge. As I said, he's the one with quite a lot of experience, and you look at all his results over the years, and he's done very well. So yeah, definitely a mentor for me. Yeah.
Good luck, and wish you the best for your practice.
Thanks for that. Have a nice weekend. I'm sure we'll see you around.
We'll see you around.
Cars poised off the start here. It is traditional Australian tin top racing fair. Ford versus Holden. Ford on pole, Holden in P2. The 19 for me is in the preferred position. That is the Commodore. Can sweep across the nose at turn number 1. Field gets away nicely. And have a look at Snoopy. He's already having a go at it. And Daniel Johnson's jumped away nicely as well. He looks right down the outside. It'll be the Falcon that leads them through. So Kane Baxter Smith takes full advantage of pole. The dust goes up. These cars largely unaffected by the big ripple strips and curbs around the track here at Winton. A lot softer setup compared to what we've just seen with the Formula type cars. But they line up astern. It's faster flowing turn 4. One of the best additions or reshapings of corners in motorsport history there. It really has absolutely advanced the Winton Motor Raceway by what they've done there. Super job in the engineers that did that work down there to get that corner realigned. Gets a bit of mayhem now down at the coming together. The 51 and the 99. Prestopino goes off. Travis Lindhoff, told you he's in a hurry. He wants to start to get through there, but Prestopino is
elbows are out
amongst it there. Kevin Stoopman's also pushing very, very hard as well. So the guy's glass and glazing car, number 99, gets back on and out for the chase. Just watching for Travis Lindhoff in the Casey accident car. Here we go. It's Travis Lindhoff. And the 99 of Preston Pino.
Just a
bit of
little
it coming
turn in
together.
there.
And Stoopman, he likes to take advantage of those situations, and he puts the red and white Falcon through there as well. Here's our race leaders coming around to complete lap number 1. Kevin Stoopman, Preston Pino. They all stream through. There's Daniel Johnson, so he's made his way inside the top 10. And there goes the driver Van's car as well with Andy McSwain. So he hasn't quite made the advances. Daniel's up 10 spots.
Nice.
10 spots for this Falcon on this lap. And he's just gone through. He's trying to pick up whereabouts he is in the field. Sorry, we've got sun in our eyes here in the commentary booth and trying to pick up where everyone is. There's
Looks
Nash
like Daniel's
Harris
in
the
8th
Falcon.
position.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
that's a big charge.
Yeah.
Very big charge.
Nice work in the AU.
And he's quick through the sweeper too. Look at that. So, as they shook out over turn on lap number 1, Baxter Smith, DeLowndes, Pridmore, Lindorf, Stoopman, Preston Pino, Jaski. That's a good advantage there. He's gone up a couple of spots too. So, keeping an eye on that as we get the mid-pack here, the dangerous mid-pack in saloon cars. They tend to tear door handles off each other here, but the saloon car racing yesterday was exceptional in its racecraft. Back over the shoulder of Preston Pino here, so this is
On board with Kieran Pridmore.
Kieran Pridmore, yes.
Yeah. A lot of pressure having the onboard.
Yeah,
Especially on your sponsors.
yeah, right, absolutely.
Gippsland Custom Accessories.
Through the gearbox, back down a cog into third. That looked like to me on the old H pattern there. Holds the third gear and charging up to the line. Here we go. This is back on board with the 66 now. And getting a good
Coming
look
into
over
1 and
Kieran's
2.
shoulder. He's gone down a spot now, so Travis Lindorf is the car in front, the Casey Accident Repair outfit. And up over for those traditionalists, the old start line there. And there's car number 1 now up into position 7. So Daniel has obviously had a good night's sleep and had a nice breakfast this morning and is pushing on very, very hard indeed. Trying to see where McSwain is, still down in 13th, so not really being able to get through the field. Sean Jamison didn't take the grid there, so there's obviously something terminal with Jamo's car. That's a real shame, a guy that comes to the track to win races and more often than not does exactly that. This is a great battle. This will be a great battle. Here's a couple of drivers that give no quarter. Kevin Stoopman, car number 12, hard-nosed racer. Nice bloke out of the car, but I tell you what, when he's in the car, he is as aggressive as the best of them, or the rest of them.
Well, that means he's a race car driver.
Yeah, typical. In the dictionary says as more, if not more aggressive than his other fellow racers.
Mostly all nice in pit lane.
That's right. You never know. That's the driver's lament, isn't it? You never know where your next big sponsor's coming from. So be nice to everyone.
Exactly. Now, what I was interested in, Darren, yesterday talking to Daniel Johnson, is that this really is a great entry category, like a fantastic entry category. For anyone interested in getting into motor racing or getting back in and not having your empty pockets all the time, it's actually quite affordable. You know, first year might run you up 50, 60. But the upkeep and maintenance on these cars is really low. They're going through 6 tyres a series. I find that mind-boggling coming out of GT3.
You might get an argument to someone else through the field that might say, "Oh yeah, we're using 12," but that just depends.
But that you can run on 6 tyres in a series, that is like mind-blowing to me.
Interestingly enough, that stat, because I reckon everyone in the field by the end of their first weekend has at least locked up a front and destroyed a tyre. So they're down to 5 already, aren't they?
Yeah.
Great race here at the front. Baxter Smith. This is Adam Lowndes in the Pro Plum car and Travis Lindorf. These two know each other very well indeed. A lot of racing in and out of each other's mirrors. Kane Baxter Smith also very much an experienced campaigner and certainly can agree with yourself there, Emma, and the chat you had with Daniel. It is a grassroots form of racing. And seriously skilled racing. When you look at the racing these guys put on, very experienced racers. And if you want to be at the front, you're going to have to be at your main game. So if you want to challenge, then get amongst it with these guys. It looks like it's Falcons and Commodores out there. It's exactly what it is, but there's all the usual dark arts of suspension and tyres and those sort of things to get fast.
Yet these are so close to stock production cars. Like, they are so close, and these guys are driving nose to tail. They don't have extreme race setups. They've basically got a rudimentary race setup, so it's even more impressive when you see how close they are and that they're going too wide into the turns.
It is one of those ones where the space between the steering wheel and the headrest makes more of the decisions than what's going on in the pits, and that's what race drivers want. When you look at, I'm going to say, I'll single out Kevy Stoopman here. He's got a car that he can race in any category he wants to. Always comes back to saloon cars to keep himself sharp and in the game. And where's Kev at the moment? He's 4th on the road. And here comes Daniel Johnson. He's now
Moved
7th. So he's got a bit of lonely track, actually, Daniel. He's got to catch that group in front of him, which would be Prestipino in the 99 to get on the back of him. And that's going to be hard to get further forward than that. Oh, Baxter Smith. Sorry, no, not Baxter Smith. That's Pridmore coming under huge fire with Kevy Stoopman. So Kev's got the number 12. Oof. Absolutely got 2 of the General's charges behind. And what's actually going on here is this battle of 3 will become 4.
Oh, bit
I
of a tap there.
lap.
Pridmore's making the pass now through the inboard. Oh, just sit back and watch this 110-degree turn. Lovely stuff. Has he managed it?
He's got that nice panoramic rear vision mirror and he's checking it out too. Giving a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Stoopman as well. Good stuff. Great shots being supplied by our crew at Glenline TV.
What another side-by-side.
Oh, Kevy Stoopman's going to go back 2 spots. I wonder if there's going to be a thumbs up there. Oh, Stoopy off.
Buddy.
Mark the tape, boys. We don't see that too often. Kevin Stoopman.
Oh, there's
Given a bit of Kevin Stoopman. That was a bit of full pressure from Pridmore. Prestipino, those guys put it on Kev. And he answered the question. It's going to be interesting now to watch the lap times come out of car number 12. Best of a 1:38. I reckon he'll dip into the 37s pretty quick, smart chasing these guys. But have a look at this. It's now the 66 of Pridmore, the 99 of Prestipino, who were line astern with each other yesterday.
Yep.
And right in behind them is Daniel Johnson. So it's 2 Holdens and a Ford battling it out. There is our intervals from the leader, from Baxter Smith back to Lowndes. 0.4 Adam Lowndes, and then to Travis Lindoff. But this is the battle just off the back of that. This is just off the podium. And you could, for all intents and purposes, if you wanted to, pretend that this was 1st, 2nd and 3rd the way they're going at it.
Oh, yeah. I want to see the inboard again with Pridmore, with Prestipino up on his bum. Look at that.
Look at that. You don't get much closer. That is beautiful
Kissing
racing
cousins there.
Good stuff there by Jacob Prestipino. This is what we like from this guy. He doesn't mind mixing it up a little bit, but he is well and truly haunting Pridmore. Karen Pridmore has got this blue and green, and in fact, he won't even see blue and green. He'll just see windscreen. He will just see windscreen in the rear vision mirror, and it's about now where he's got that big panoramic mirror that he probably just picks that up or whatever.
Oh, is he going to try the pass at 12?
Look who's lurching though.
Oh.
Like a great white shark. There's Damien Johnson just lurking off the back of it. If you guys want to get racy, headlights on now for the AU.
There you go.
There we go. I'm coming, boys. They're side by side down into one. Position swaps. The 99 locks up the left rear.
Oh, I'm loving this action.
I'm going to say they all come out. They do. But have a look at this. Not giving up. Pridmore to the inside in the 66.
That's phenomenal racing between 2 and 3. My goodness. And Daniel's there waiting for one of these two to nudge the other off or make a mistake, and then he'll
Or
take
if either
full
of them look like
advantage.
they're going to cross each other up, he'll just make it 3 wide and see who pops out the other side. Winton's not a great place to try and go 3 wide. It's a sort of a narrow racing surface.
Tight.
So,
and these are not the smallest cars. A little bit of lock up.
The Commodores both locking up. Swings across in front. Pridmore and Prestipino giving each other millimetre perfect racing there. It is literally millimetres that they are just avoiding each other. And I love those gloves in Jacob Prestipino's car. Yellow gloves. You see them go up and down in the sunlight. Let's have a look on board with these two down the straight. This is the 66 of Pridmore. And there is the 99 down the inside. Not afraid at all. Goes up the inside. Oh, gravity takes over.
I think there'll be a few drivers with a couple more tyres this season.
Well, yeah, they're nipping them up a little bit here and there. We're just seeing and hearing a bit of...
66 and 99 are taking a few nibbles out of each other every chance they get.
Interestingly enough, Pridmore is fastest up in that last race. Travis Lindorf's fastest car on track for 1:37.1. We've got just under 3 minutes left in this. And have a look at Daniel
Daniel's
Johnson.
poised. Check this turn one.
It's too far out. They go as one, though. They both turn in. Nice work.
Shut the door.
Pridmore would be like the ham in a ham sandwich at the moment. He is absolutely trying to get through on Kieran Pridmore and Daniel Johnson.
Prestapino's in the sandwich.
Prestapino, sorry, and Daniel there. And it looks like Pridmore's just put the wheel off in the dirt coming around through turn 4. So no lack of trying. Our trio, and don't forget, this is not for a podium. This is 4th, 5th and 6th. The podium guys is Baxter, Smith, Lowndes and Lindorf, and they're out in front. Baxter Smith has got almost a second lead over Lowndes and then almost a second back to Lindorf as well. These three are operating within half a second of each other.
Yeah, the front two have a little bit more to relax about than these guys do.
Really enjoying it. You can tell if we get back to the onboard at all with Kieran Pridmore that you can just about see the grin on his face. There's a sweat dripping off his brow, but the pearly whites are shining.
I don't think he'll be relaxed until the checkered flag's
That's
gone.
true. Don't come to the racetrack expecting getting relaxation. That's for sure.
No, not at all.
Princess has gone to the lane. Not sure what's happened there with him. Okay, so he had a mechanical black flag. Travis Lindorf, fastest car on track at the moment. There's been no infringements dealt out by race control. And our first time State Series Clark, of course, Christian has done a tremendous job yesterday. Had everything thrown at him, including 2 rollovers, and in his very first race, a rollover on the very first lap. So welcome to the job.
Yeah, I reckon Lowndes has got. He could probably feel some hot air on his neck right now. That looks slightly uncomfortable going into the sweeper.
I tell you what, though, yes, Kane Baxter Smith is the one that's probably out of this lot most relaxed. But when you're out in front, it's like, surely 42 seconds. How has that taken 12 minutes to occur?
Well,
42 seconds left on the clock, so we'll have this, and I would suggest one more lap.
Off track, 1.3 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but on track, it's comfortable.
It's $100,000 invested in new equipment, isn't it?
Totally.
Have a look at this. These guys sweeping around. Both Commodores taking it to each other. Lowndes to Lindorf, 1.3 seconds. I'm not so sure that's current spec, but anyway, that we can see that gap now at the moment, and they are turning into
turn 9.
That hard corner. It's such a difficult corner.
It is. It's deceiving, that corner. It's 110 degrees, so it's just a little bit more turn.
The rest of the track you can get a flow on, and that's where it ruins your flow right
That can
there.
bring you undone, that corner, and sets you up badly for the next 2.
And it's all important. This one here, we're watching Lowndes set it up. Got these cars working very nicely indeed. Kane Baxter Smith is doing a brilliant job. There goes Kane on his final lap. He has got a very healthy margin, and it is 1.6 seconds. And in saloon car land, that is an eternity. The next 2 is 0.3, and really the gap doesn't matter. We can see that. We can see it on our screens. We can see it trackside. If you're anywhere in the vicinity of central Victoria, Wangaratta, Benalla, Shepparton and regions, Strathmerton, Cobram, head over, come and see us. Mount Beauty, Mount Buffalo. What else is over there? Mount Buller, if you're anywhere around. And of course, Tadong. Big shout out to Tadong, the Tadong community doing their Good Friday appeal, as they have done for many years, a traditional Tadong affair. Doing a tremendous job. Check that out for their Good Friday appeal.
Darren, I think Lindorf's going to make a move on Lowndes before the end of this. Yeah, it's getting tight here. Oh, he's weaving behind. This is the final lap, so...
This is where Travis Lindorf's trying to induce a mistake out of Lowndes, which is nothing different over the last 7 laps. It's about letting him know you're there. There's one really final effort under brakes if he can get his car positioned to the inside and hold him out. But Adam moves back over to the left-hand side of the track. Lowndes is already there, and there's no way from that far back he can make a pass. But we're going to see Kane Baxter Smith on the straight. There he is, the AU, and he's starting to slide around. So where are we? We're only the second race into the weekend and cars are starting to move. Kane Baxter Smith takes the win. A terrific win there. Lights to flag. Really didn't look like he was going to be threatened. Started out of P2, won the run down to turn 1, and really did hand them, started out of P1, won the run down to turn 1 there, and has brought the field back home. This is a big run here, swap for positions. That's Leach looking down the inside there, trying to make it stick. And that's Nash Harris. He's right up the field in his EA Falcon. And these guys will start to bring it down across the line there, and they finish out. So just watching the way they have finished. Baxter Smith takes the win to Adam Lowndes. And the car's still streaming their way to the line. So the race is still going on as cars make their way to the line. So the car stopped up against the wall over there. Not too sure exactly who that is, but Nash Harris had been lapped, so he is back down a spot. Bright has got up a spot. Gray has got up a spot. Oh, it's Prestipino, isn't it? Parked up over there. Didn't make it to the line. So Lowndes second, Travis Lindorf to Kieran Pridmore, Daniel Johnson. What a drive. Yeah,
what
the
a
99
shame.
Parked up. What a shame.
What a shame. Great drive from those guys. And Prestipino obviously had a bit of a... We can't see it. We don't know if he had a nudge or a...
Very, very fun race for us to watch on from the outside as the recovery cars come in. And we're just hearing the car may have just, the fire went out. So that's sad in that respect.
Yeah.
They'll hook up. So I just touched on quickly the Good Friday appeal down at the Tadong location. The Swanpool Bowls Club putting on a barefoot bowls tournament down there.
Lovely.
So check that out. Thursday the 21st of March at 6 p.m. Bowls and barbecue, $20. Bowls only $10. Beverages available at the bar. Of course, it's a bowls club. Contact Jade or Shara down there. You can Google that up. The Tadong Good Friday Appeal, a very famous Good Friday Appeal. It's an undeniable charity, the Good Friday Appeal. It's,
absolutely.
Something that's close to everyone's heart is that the Children's Hospital, so they do such a good job, and locally the Tadong community do a tremendous job at raising money. So we hope we wish them all the best with their appeal for Good Friday. There's the results. Kane Baxter Smith, Adam Lowndes, Travis Lindorf, Kieran Pridmore, Dan Johnson, what a drive from back of the grid. Kevy Stoopman ultimately into 6th, Jason Leach, David Wilkin, Jeske, and that rounds out our field. Next car's on track and trying to make hay while the sun shines here at Winton Motor Raceway, and the sun is shining. It's very dry off track too. It's almost like a bull dust when they drive off on more common places. The dust goes up in the air and covers the whole venue. Very, very dry month or so has been February and March in this part of Victoria. In fact, we've had heat wave conditions down in the suburbs of Melbourne over the last week or two, and we are away. Huge charge down into turn 1 as always. Baxter Smith, a nice start there, puts it up on the ripple strip, cuts that corner beautifully. Lowndes, magnificent start as well. Travis Lindorf, Daniel Johnson's got away very, very nicely indeed, and still we have no Kevy Stoopman out on track. So the 51 hangs in there, and that's Travis Lindorf. Go back down through the field for 888 Home Loans. And there is some of the older cars there, the EA and BN cars that started out. There's Andy McSwain. Now, this is really interesting to see him back in the field in the number 34. Haven't really covered off what's going on there for that AU, but at the front there is one AU that is being fairly dominant here this weekend while the two Blue Commodores battle it out behind.
Yeah, I'm still amazed that these guys are. These cars were rolled off the factory and in homes for a long time, and now they're on the track.
I wonder how many kids were dropped off at school in one of these Falcons or Commodores.
Too many, way too many.
I wonder how many were conceived.
Like, the body roll isn't much different from what it was out of factory, but these guys aren't.
It's controlled.
It is. Nose to tail. I still can't get over how close these guys are to each other. They don't have the sophisticated racing brakes and all the electronics and all that kind of stuff that other race cars we're used to seeing have, and this is nerves of steel, this stuff. 2 by 2.
They're going to try and dive down the inside there. Adam Lowndes has a good look at Baxter Smith. Lindorf's hung out wide there. He has to cover it off. He moves slightly over. He's going to shut the door on Lowndes, on Lindorf there. So Lowndes manages to hang on to it. But have a look at them all lining up to have a crack if something goes wrong at the front. They're very much in contention there. The EA and VN battle is alive and well. And McSwain off the back there. So Baxter Smith, waving the blue flag feverishly from the front of this race with Lindorf, Lowndes, Pridmore, Daniel Johnson in P5 in car number 1. He must be looking forward to getting down to Phillip Island, the wide open expanses, to stretch the legs of the inline 6 of car number 1. And then it's Leach and Jeske. And rounding out the top 10 is car number 2 there, Davey Wilkins, and the 45 flowing through there as well. So keep an eye out there for Kerry Bright.
I'm still in shock, Darren. We almost had 3 wide going into turn.
It'll keep happening. We've got, what have we got? We've got about 16 and a half minutes left of it. They'll keep doing it until the conversation comes to some sort of an end. Normally the checkered flag. Let's hope no one ends up in tears. But I tell you what, Travis Lindorf now has found a really good bit of heels. Have a look at this. Out wide, the VN.
Oh.
Wow, the 94 goes out very, very wide indeed. That's gaunt. You don't want to do that for a second lap in a row.
New jocks, please.
It's the 51. Travis Lindorf right down now into Baxter Smith. And these guys are certainly driving very, very well. Emma, you've been surprised at the level of skill that these drivers bring to this sort of racing. It is grassroots, and it's racing on a budget, whatever it might be.
Yeah, look, this is not to take anything away from the drivers at all, but these cars have less control. So you have to actually almost be a better driver.
It's analog racing.
It is.
The GT scene, let's say.
It is, and we're at Winton. This is a highly technical track. It's narrow as well. These cars are not little. To have 2 wide going into a turn, it makes me nervous to watch. I can't imagine what it's like in car.
Absolutely enthralling to be inside.
Yeah.
That's why they strap on the onesie and the booties and the helmet, isn't it? They get out there and have a ball.
They're
You've been down at the paddock. You've been socialising with these teams. They're a happy bunch of racers, aren't they?
They are. They're actually really, really cool. And you know what the best thing is about it? And this is what I love about racing and motorsport in general. They're all helping each other out. Someone breaks a control arm. Someone needs a new, some discs or even a tyre. They're all lending each other a hand. They're down here with their wives and kids, and some of them with their parents. It's actually a really cool vibe down there in the garages for these guys.
And here we go. This is where it all comes unstuck, because when the boys put the helmets on and the switches in the back of their head
no more
go
friends.
Off mode. Yeah, that's right. Don't know who that guy is behind that helmet, but I want that spot. And round the outside, go Travis Lindorf. He puts it in there, and that is the long way around, and Baxter Smith just goes, yep, okay,
Hail
I'll see
Mary
you
to
next
the
time
brakes.
round.
Let's see what the brakes do here. Oh,
Yep, there it is.
Nice
I'm
little
here.
kiss.
I'm still with you. The Casey Accident Repair Cars, doesn't matter. I'm sponsored by Panel Shop.
This is like being in a tank of sharks. They've got no problem nibbling you.
That's a good analogy. They'll give you the push, that is for sure. So down into turn 1, Baxter Smith poises the Falcon, gets right out over the ripple strip. In fact, over the back of it there, the Falcon just rides it like no tomorrow. It's pick-up time in the back streets of some country town, and the kids need to get in and get a lift home.
It's definitely pick-up time, because what I've heard down in the garage is there's a lot of pick-up over the track by this stage, and it's making things a little bit hairy and a little bit interesting with the tyres and the heat.
By pick-up, we mean the bits of rubber that have been torn off the tyres of all the categories, and they start to sit offline. And when you go offline, and we're seeing Daniel Johnson do that just now in the sweeper, he's actually trying to find a spot where the Falcon has an advantage over Pridmore's Commodore in front of him. So he's using the early part of this race on lap number 4 just to feel where he can put the car to try and make inroads onto Kieran Pridmore, who's driving a terrific weekend this weekend.
And mixed in with that pickup, there's a fair bit of dust. Every time one of these guys goes out offline a little bit, the dust comes up, the wind's picking it up, putting it on the track. So it does make for challenging driving conditions along with the heat.
And I guess the condition that the drivers feel with that when they come across the track here we go. This is back down into the field. This is the Jackson Shembry battle.
Nice.
And Gaunt goes through. In fact, there's no Shembry. He's up the road. It's Gaunt that gets through in the Falcon. And they're going to go at it again. This is the big battle going on right back down through the field. And,
Great. That was a great clean pass.
The Gray and Nash Harris car number 52, sorry, and the 20 is Nash. Apex written on the side. So, yeah, this is the older cars class lead. And you see in our timing screen the older cars are in the lighter colours. So you can pick up the different classes that we've got running, and this battle is the Ding Dong battle. Just to extrapolate on that point with the dust, Emma, is that when that dust comes back down, it's like hitting sand, and the car just slides across the surface. You've got boiling hot racing rubber, in this case not racing rubber, road rubber that's going racing, so the condition is exacerbated because the tyre is operating right at the optimum end of its operating range of heat and pressure.
And you notice the cars do a little bit of a dance, especially coming out of the sweeper and through the cleavage and then back onto the main straight. They do a little bit of a dance because you got that sand there, and it is a little bit unstabilising for the car. But these guys are fantastic drivers. It's nothing for them. They handle it with absolute ease.
Under brakes now. Nash goes in on the number 20. Let's have a look at the lap times that these guys are setting. Nash has done a 1:43.64. Gray has done a 1:43.7. The guys out in front are running at a 1:38. So Travis Lindorff, fastest car on track, leading the way on a 1:38.27. This battle, by the way, between car number 52 and car 20 is 4, 10 and 11 on the road. And you can't tell me they're having any more or less fun than car 1 and 2 on the road with Travis Lindorff and Kane Baxter-Smith. They are operating in this own little section of the lap. Two EA Falcons, they'll know each other very, very well. They've probably got one of each spare between them, and they share them in between races and in between rounds and go racing together. Something hanging down underneath.
Car 20 seems to have a muffler hanging down.
Nash Harris.
Yeah.
It looks like it's in that muffler type of area. Let's hope there's no issue. We might just get a bit of an ear on the car as it comes past the commentary booth next time around. Looks to the inside. There's a move going on here. Nash Harris has to open up the steering. A very, very brave look at it. You can't sell him out for not having a go. And we'll get a look at the car as he comes under. No, that's just an exhaust system hanging down, and he's sliding it through turn 3 like it's now a drift competition. There's Shembry in the number 10. That is for position 13. Andy McSwain just up the road, and Gaunt behind. Jackson also just behind them as well. So a good look at the number 10.
It's worth noting, Darren, too, and I seem to bring people to the track that don't know much about racing because I want company when I'm here. But it's interesting, there's never just one race happening within a race. There's always a few races, whether you've got split categories, so trophy categories, etc., or whether you've got grudge matches between drivers. But every driver will be racing themselves in their last times and trying to beat them. So there's so many races, as many cars as there are, that's how many races are happening out there and more.
I do like both those that you described, the trophy race, because that is a different race indeed. But certainly those grudge matches, they can happen anywhere in the field, and sometimes it takes a little while for everyone to get the pulse of those grudge matches and how serious they are on track. And sometimes races will be races, sometimes they're grudges off the track as well. And you'll see that in the competitor groups when they get together. There's the look down the inside. McSwain's going to go back a spot as Shembry asks the big question to the AU Falcon from Bayford Ford, and gets the job done on the drive events Falcon there. And the 34 goes one spot further back. It'll be Jackson next in the number 97 that will start to weigh in on this. So we'll just see how Chris Jackson goes. Baxter Smith fastest lap now at a 1:37.95 in position number 2. So has just brought that lead back down under half a second. So there's Travis Lindorff leading the way. It's visual. The numbers there and the gap between them is almost irrelevant. We can see how close that Baxter Smith is now to Travis Lindorff. I guess the main thing, Emma, that we need to look at now is, can Travis Lindorff match that last fastest lap on lap number 6 that the guy right behind him.
Well, I never was a huge fan of the AU front headlights when they brought them out, but I would hate to have them in my rear view on a racetrack. It's kind of haunting. So, I think these guys have been trading blows all weekend, and I think it's quite possible. We've got 8 minutes left, and there's only 7/10.
Yeah, there is. And gee, this battle is heating up too between Kieran Pridmore and Daniel Johnson. This is Australian motorsport through the decades, isn't it? Holden versus Ford. And bouncing it over ripple strips. They're honouring the traditions left, right and centre at the moment.
Absolutely. It's kind of eerie but cool having a Lowndes and a Johnson out there in Holdens and Forwards.
Isn't that? Yeah, that's something I didn't see, but yeah, certainly you can say, oh, you're a commentator at a race between Lowndes and Johnson. Oh, the 52
More
giving
than a
Nash
kiss.
Harris a big touch up behind the wheel there.
Front right.
And that's some big damage on that just behind the right front wheel there for Nash Harris.
Oh, I think we're going to get
Big Nash.
We might see a replay on that one.
That is very, very interesting indeed. That got pretty willing, and I'm sure that race control will have trackside communications radioing that one in to get a good look at that. But what it's done is it's opened it up the gap there for Shembry. Gone through. Nash Harris is like, yeah, I don't know, I can't feel anything different. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get out there, and this Falcon's just handling like it did earlier on.
Wow.
How do I tell the difference?
I'm amazed he's still going around. I thought he did some damage to that front right.
Tough as nails, these Aussie-built cars, aren't they? Out there and at 'em.
Fantastic.
Continuing on, we have got 6.5 minutes left in this journey. Around wide and side-by-side action coming up. Nash moves over just to put the pressure on. And there's a bit of a touch, a bit of a disturbance of air. And boom, Shanker. There we go.
Yeah.
Off you go, off I go. And at the end of the day, we try and squeeze 2 into 1. And I got to say that probably no one was really past either one there. So they had to sort it out somehow, and it ends up coming to blows just like that.
And the gift of more pickup down there before the main straight. It's fantastic.
Well, here we go. This is the battle in this race, just outside the podium positions. And Daniel Johnson would dearly like to start getting some more podiums out of this one, and to take away and head off to round 3 as we go to Phillip Island on June 28, 29, 30, which is quite some time away. So let's face it, if you get some panel damage, there's plenty of time to get that fixed up. Not that I would ever endorse that, but that's what can certainly transpire. Sean Jamieson leads the championship. He's got no points this weekend. Daniel Johnson came in on 84, Kieran Pridmore on 84. So this is a championship battle on our
I've got to
screen.
say, Darren, Pridmore's rear tyres look like they're feeling the pressure from Daniel Johnson. He's doing a little bit of a dance here and there.
So Adam Lowndes came into this round on 74, Baxter Smith on 61. He's done a really good job to gather a lot of points this weekend, Baxter Smith. And Travis Lindorf out of 5th. He's leading this race. So there's some, at the end of this, there's going to be a logjam of cars on very similar points going into round 3.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. I'm just waiting for Daniel to take an inside moment on Pridmore.
He will leave it until the very last bit of the race. Daniel will size it up. I'll have noticed that the gap to the front runners now is almost unassailable unless there's some sort of untoward action that goes on in front of them, but he would certainly like to take T4 back, because these two coming into this round had exactly the same points. And I would say that Pridmore is up on points for the round, so Daniel wants to try and grab at least 1 or 2 or 3 back.
So it goes to my point, race within a race. This is fantastic to watch this, especially when you know there are points up for grab and there's a narrow margin there. It makes it even more exciting.
So around into the sweeper, Daniel Johnson will be sick of looking at the back of this silver Commodore. I can't say I am, Dan. Sorry, mate. I think they're doing a great job there. There's the 91. Now, this has been a long battle this weekend. So 91 of Jeske and Bright just in behind here in the 45. Magnificent looking car. They go to a lot of painstaking time and effort to make sure this connected car looks the goods.
The
and good
livery
on them.
looks fantastic
it pays
on that.
Yeah, it really does. They've gone. It's a busy livery, and that's really hard to do. You've got to keep it clean and you've got to keep it looking good, and it doesn't seem to be a task for them. They just love to present the car. In fact, this whole field, they do like to present their cars. They do have at the time of rubbing panels and tearing mirrors off. That happens, and we've seen that with Nash, who's going home with a big dent in the right-hand front guard.
Yeah, livery is actually, it's not important to the racing, but it's important to a lot of spectators.
Well, it's important if you've got any commercial partners.
Oh, absolutely. But in terms of design, some people get it right, some people don't. It's actually a real art to get it looking fantastic and speedy on track.
I guess one of the advantages for these type of races is that they've got a whole library of liveries they can look back to when the supercars were running these shapes.
Wouldn't you be so tempted to just copy them? I'd love to do tribute liveries. Some of them were fantastic.
Nash Harris, 3 curbs, and then, whoa, right in front of us, gives the wall a bit of a scrape.
Oh.
And he has got the bit between the teeth, Nash Harris. Where is he? 11th on the road, and just did his fastest lap of the race. So there you go. Use all of the ripple strips, and you get your fastest lap at 1:43.09. Here's the 91 again for Jeske and Bright. And you can look at this Falcon and this Commodore. And into turn 3 they go. Down into the re-profiled turn 4. I've said it numerous times. I really like what they did there. Here's Nash, and he has got his absolute hands full now with car 10 of Shembury. So this is for 11th and 12th in the race.
His front right is definitely touching on that panel. He's doing so well. How many laps since that little off? It's been 2 laps or 3?
2 laps, yeah. Yep.
Oh, God, he's doing well to drive that. There must be some instability through the column on that as well, steering that around.
Yeah, it'll be given a bit of feedback.
A bit of feedback, yeah. That's a nice technical term for wrestling the hell out of it.
Biceps up, forearms.
They're having an argument on every corner.
It's not dirt bike riding with arm pump. It's circuit racing with arm pump.
Exactly. 2 laps to go, Darren.
Yeah. What are we going to get dished up here? Travis Lindorff is commanding this race very, very well at the moment, and just watching Adam Lowndes, he's got it all to his own as well. So out in front, Travis Lindorff's got a 1.8 second lead over Adam Lowndes, and then Adam Lowndes is actually, Kane Baxter Smith. Then Adam Lowndes is some 8 seconds further back there as well. So you would have to suggest that with 1 3/4 laps left to go. Here's Nash Harris. He is got some battle scars here on this weekend, and this is it. This is mid-pack racing in any category.
Yeah.
Still not sure what it is hanging down underneath the side of that car on the passenger side, but obviously not affecting performance too much because he's holding up. He's racing well with the Shembury car number 10. And there's Jackson coming down the straight there as well, just filling that in. The 10 looks to the inside here. That's going to be a big dive bomb to try and make that happen. The biggest problem with that is it now slows that car on the flip-flop over to left and right, and will be suffering from speed up the hill there as well. So Nash will have a half a lap breath because Shembury's had a go at him there in the Bayford Ford.
Because there's not enough to keep your eye on in a car. You've got to save tyres, you've got to look at your temps, you've got to look at your brakes, and now he's got some damage that he's got to manage through all the corners and straights and fend off some pressure from the rear. That's fantastic driving.
So here they come. Time is up. This is the top end of the course here at Winton Motor Raceway, past the old control tower, down into turn 3 and 4. Daniel Johnson, I am going to say, this is it, mate. You've got to make it work over the next 30 seconds to get an extra spot. And he is defending the title, car number 1, which he's displaying ever so proudly. It was kind of like Mark Torberts, who's just had 2 race wins in 944s. He's worked at it. And it's the Old Testament. He goes, I didn't realise how hard you had to work to get the championship. I thought you'd just get it. But it's not. Now he knows the commitment he needs to make. And here it is. He's heard the 30-second call, and he is showing it to Kieran Pridmore. Left, right and centre. He is now showing him what he's got. And Pridmore's driving down the left-hand side of the track at the last second, moving over to take the racing line. That is great defence there by the Holden racer. and he will now drive down the right-hand side of the track here. So Daniel Johnson's going to have to make a move, and it's too far back. Great to see that slower car get out of the way. The red BN there just dropping out of the way because you can see the race happening. Checkered flag drops, and it's gone to Travis Lindorf. Takes the race win. Kane Baxter-Smith gets home to second. Where are our next contenders? There goes Adam Lowndes, lonely in third. But fourth place goes to Kieran Pridmore. Daniel Johnson home in fifth there. So in the end, really close finish for fourth and fifth. But Travis Lindorf takes a dominant victory, 2.55 seconds over Kane Baxter-Smith, who'd won the two previous races. So Travis Lindorf and Kane Baxter-Smith, your winners over this weekend. Adam Lowndes fighting really, really hard towards the end there. He had his track to himself. And this battle is still raging out on track between the 91 of Jeske and Bright. And they've been doing it for 9 laps now.
Leaving it down to the wire. This is fantastic. I've loved watching these two as well. Just another battle going on.
We are battling out for 7, 8 and 9 on the track here. And to the line, it is going to go to Jeske. Bright will be the next one then. And then Wilkin in position number 9. We're waiting now for 10th to come to the line. This is Nash Harris and
fighting to the death.
And they are going to swap positions all the way to the line here, and right in behind there is the 97 of Jackson. Gray gets to the line. This battle all the way to the line there. Nash Harris with a bloody nose and a black eye out of that one, that's for sure.
Well, every centimetre and every second counts in this, and he got them.
He absolutely did. So that is a really good round of saloon car racing. Doing a tremendous job is Travis Lindorf in car number 51. Takes the final race for the weekend in the saloon cars. Kane Baxter-Smith home in P2. Adam Lowndes, Kieran Pridmore, Daniel Johnson in car number 1, defending his title. Jackson Leach, James Jeske, Kerry Bright, David Wilkin and Dylan Gray rounds out our 10. Travis Lindorf takes the fastest lap of that race, which is important because he got the fastest lap and the actual victory.